The grand finale of Chapter 5 is happening on November 30th, and Fortnite is secretly telling us what'll happen. From the Flood event, Juice WRLD concert, and the end of an era, let's first talk about how we got to Remix and what happens next. So when I searched the Remix Island, I found voicemail messages from our new main character, Hope. We could finally listen into her calls with her sister, who brought us Pandora's Box all the way back in Season 1. And this revealed what's been going on in the background all chapter.
But Pandora's Box is a part of something bigger. I can't shake the sense that I'm a part of it too.
Now, this is where she reveals an incredible secret. Hope has a gift.
Turns out, my art can see the future. I can see the future through my paintings. That's probably it. But I can't rule out another call.
What this means is she can see into the future, and her art is incredibly important to the storyline. In fact, if you paid attention to the Remix event, it was full of graffiti. And we know she's telling the truth because she's the one who graffitied the box, the pipeline, and the Wanderer all over the Chapter 5 map before they even showed themselves. So, from this new information, we could gather that Hope will tell us what happens next. In fact, it's just beginning as we move into Chapter 6. Like everyone else, I had to ask, how do we get to this island? Well, it's all thanks to the Rift Beacon left behind at Restored Reels. This was one of the only ones left that worked, so the Islanders tampered with it and ended up exposing us to this new reality. Which brings me to my first theory. We did not time travel. Rift Beacons don't do that, and there's been no time machine on the map, unlike when Kato Thorn conveniently gave us the one for the OG season. So the Rift Beacon has done the next best thing, opening a portal to an alternate reality where Chapter 2 is taken over by rappers instead of Midas's crew. This also explains why characters are different from how they were in the past, like Meowtis and Dynamo T and Tina. But conveniently for Epic, it's also the perfect explanation for why the storyline feels so hidden this season. In reality, they probably just want this to be a one-off theme, which has no consequences for the lore. But in the story, this is an excuse for a small break from Hope and the gang, so we can focus on having fun and enjoy the nostalgia. It's especially true now that we know what to expect when the live event rolls around on November 30th. Fortnite has officially announced Remix the Finale. From that name alone, you could probably guess what kind of theme they're going with. The Chapter 2 season has been named Remix because they want to let everyone know that this is not another OG event, and the finale is going to take that to the next level. That announcement told us the Chapter 5 finale will actually be a concert, more specifically for Juice WRLD. I know what you're thinking, but don't worry, it's not going to be some random live stream like the Snoop Dogg one. In fact, Fortnite confirmed it'll be similar to Travis Scott, where all the rappers will be giant, and on the map, it is gonna be epic. This event will be crucial in explaining how we travel to the Chapter 6 island, and that is why there will be more to this concert than meets the eye. Let's get into it. Despite the Big Bang being a simple advertisement for the 3 new modes, it still did a good job of explaining the Chapter 5 map because, well, there was a Big Bang with a time machine attached to a rocket. Still a lot of storyline there, but this time things are feeling different. That's because we're in an alternate reality. Midas and the agency never even existed. They're not secret spies trying to infiltrate the Imagined Order or figure out the location of the 0 point. They're literally just making beats with Snoop and hiring ghost henchmen as concert security. That means there's no indication the device ever existed in this universe, so there would be no event to tamper with. Now, I know I just mentioned the 0 point, and that's a topic I'll dive into soon, but for now we have to explore the importance of Hope's paintings. Most of them have been answered over the last few months, like when she painted a vision of Pandora's Box, the pipeline, and of course the Wanderer. But someone else has consistently shown up in Hope's art time and time again, Dr. Sloan. I personally think this will come to fruition as early as this season. Think about it, we're still gonna see the map progress over the coming weeks, and there is plenty of time for Sloan to re-emerge as a central character just like she did back in Chapter 2. Not to mention, the strongest evidence is when you look at the map secrets. Despite this being an alternate reality, Fortnite still went out of their way to include multiple IO bunkers, confirming they do indeed exist. Let's go to the most infamous one, the Redacted bunker. It's still here, sealed shut to keep the mystery alive as we wonder, is Sloan in here after all? Now, of course, the spy season was our very first introduction to the IO and Agent Jones. We got to teleport into the bridge and see their offices. So will this play into the future of Remix? Well, let's just say there is more in store for us than you might think. Right now we're in the spy phase of Chapter 2, and throughout we're going to see the other Season 2 POIs like the Shark. This is leading players to believe we're stuck in the spy theme for the whole time. But if you look at the original leak from earlier this year, you'll know Fortnite described this season as a mashup of the first 3 Chapter 2 islands. This includes the Flood season. And if you thought it was scrapped, you'd be wrong, as Fortnite would later tease it again with the remix. A lot of YouTubers, including myself, were sent a bunch of pins showing what will be included, from boogie bombs, Meowtis, to a certain water creature that reveals everything. Sharks are coming back, and those guys are first introduced in the flood season. It makes sense because they're gonna need a lot more water on the map to function properly. So with this in mind, it creates a huge problem for Remix. Think about it, if they're about to flood the map, how is Eminem's POI gonna work? Gotta need the grotto to exist so Mom Spaghetti could go in there? But if the map floods, this place is gonna be the first to go. Not to mention, the whole reason the island flooded in Chapter 2 was because of the device, and as we've established, it's probably not happening. So it leaves us with one more option, the Remix finale. Like I said, this isn't just gonna be a concert, there still needs to be a way for us to change maps, and the flood could be a huge part of it. With the roadmap and the pins already teasing the season, it would be insane if the tsunami is a part of Juice WRLD's concert. But there is one other way that the Chapter 5 finale could shock us. For the last few seasons, Epic has been fueling speculation that one of our main characters was going to die. Agent Jones is one of the only original story members left, and he came into Chapter 5 with a bang, becoming Vengeance Jones and rescuing his friend. This led him to forming a partnership with Hope, except also introduced a way out for our blonde protagonist. Now Hope could deal with the island's threats and Jones could step aside after fighting for so long. After all, he is a couple hundred years old, maybe even more. Think about it, when we defeated Dio in Chapter 3, it made sure that Jones would no longer get the immortality that he benefited from while working for him. It has busted the door open for our biggest theory of the season, the death of Jonesy.
I just dethroned the King of Olympus. I think I've earned some downtime.
First of all, we dethroned the King of Olympus. Second, no. I've been watching Megalodon. I don't like what I see.
I don't care.
So from this conversation, we're learning that he's tired of fighting, and he's starting to hint that Hope is gonna take over.
Today I took a wrong and set it right. That felt good.
Look at you, accepting the hero's mantle.
Okay, don't be weird.
You see where I'm going with this. He's always talking about how he expects one of these fights to be his last. And so now you realize why everyone was so convinced Jonesy is gonna die. Epic is doing this on purpose, and they even did it in the Doom event. Now, looking back at this, it was probably a reality check. What do we think was gonna happen here? They killed Jonesy off in a mini event? Not even a finale with dialogue or something? I'll admit I'm glad it didn't happen, because he's basically Fortnite's mascot, but it doesn't mean he's safe. After all, we still have the real live event to come, and Hope is gonna continue to be as important as ever. Now, let's rewind for a second. Earlier I mentioned the 0 point, which is something that has always been ultra important to the story, and yet we haven't had to think about it for an entire year at this point. It's kind of weird. This brings me to one of the biggest theories for Chapter 6, but also beyond, and that is we've abandoned the 0 point for good. Okay, thanks to the Big Bang, it looks like the way Fortnite works is now totally different. There's no loop anymore or 0 point to control, with it splitting into an unlimited omniverse. Well, that's at least from what we've seen so far. Instead, villains want to take control of other powerful objects from these realities, like Pandora's box. This has been crucial to the Chapter 5 storyline, causing every single event, from Greek gods to Wastelanders, even Marvel. All because of this freaking box, and yet it almost reminds you of the 0 point. The way characters travel here to control it, the way it's always there on the map, lurking, and the mystery it contains, it makes you wonder, will this be a permanent addition? Right now, I can only speculate, but personally I think we're gonna move on from it and on to the next artifact. Hope's voicemails to Valeria kinda tease that there's more to come, but they don't delve into Pandora's box too much. Instead, it looks like our teasers will come from Hope's art. The theory is there will be a new artifact appearing on the Chapter 6 island that acts as our new 0 point, or Pandora's box. It would be refreshing, that's for sure, especially when we know exactly what Chapter 6 already has in store for us. It has been officially confirmed we are going to feudal Japan. It'll be full of traditional POIs and samurai-inspired skins, and as you can probably guess, it has absolutely nothing to do with rappers in Chapter 2. So clearly, there's gonna be some kind of explanation in the finale event. Hope and the gang are gonna feel pretty weird if they show up on a new island, so they'll probably guide us through the storyline for a while longer, and yet we have no idea what to expect beyond Season 1. Chapter 5 started off pretty chill. No one really would have guessed it would have suddenly be taken over by Greek gods and Marvel superheroes, so really anything could happen. Although that's not the case this time. It turns out superheroes are a trend. There are tons of hero-inspired skins in the concept art, suggesting Epic are planning this for Chapter 6 Season 4. It takes a very low skill of pattern recognition to notice that 3 of the last hero passes have been during number 4. But this time around, it's not Marvel. We're going totally original again, just like we did all the way back in Chapter 1. One of the videos that I'm so excited to work on is our entire storyline explain video. We do it every year, so make sure you're subscribed so you do not miss that. It's gonna take a while, it's a lot, but I cannot wait to show you it all. It's been Tommy, and keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.